This is our news, the weekend edition, and on the broadcast tonight, a child is abducted from home but found safe. And tonight, police now searching for clues to find the two women responsible for the kidnapping. Plus, the Christian Council president says the body will do more to get involved in the fight against crime. And the tourism and aviation minister charts the way ahead for the national airline.
Our news is brought to you by Alive.
Good evening, I'm Andrew Knowles, and thanks so much for joining us. Topping news this evening, a 3-year-old boy who was reportedly abducted from his home yesterday evening has been found alive. According to police, young Siobhan Thurston was dropped off at a wash house on Joe Farrington and Fox Hill Roads shortly after 7 this morning, ending what could only be described as terrifying moments for his family. Now, authorities say Siobhan was playing on a bicycle in front of his South Beach residence around 6 p.m. yesterday. According to one witness who police had interviewed, he observed when the boy was approached by two females who came from a silver vehicle and took him from his bicycle. The woman then placed Siobhan into the vehicle and sped off. At the time, he was said to be wearing a blue Spider-Man shirt, brown pants, and black shoes. Now, while news quickly spread on social media over the abduction, police did not release any information on the matter until 1:25 a.m. Sunday. That was followed by a missing persons bulletin at 2:39 a.m. Fortunately, early this morning, police say young Siobhan was reportedly dropped off at a wash house. He was found with no visible injuries and was taken to hospital for a routine examination. Police did say that he was obviously frightened by the whole ordeal. Now, no arrests have been made as yet in connection to this abduction, as police are still trying to identify the women in the silver vehicle. They are appealing to anyone who may have any information to come forward. Well, in the wake of a spate of murders and shootings this month, the Bahamas Christian Council President Bishop Delton Fernandez is vowing the religious community will do its part to clamp down on crime. Fernandez says the fight will include flooding the communities and possibly implementing a gun buyback program. He spoke with our Jasmine Brown.
Fernandez says there are major plans on the way as the Christian Council has been asked to assist in the fight against crime.
We have seen an increase, an uptick in the new year. We've been briefed about some of the intelligence that is going on in regards to that, and the church is going to partner even more. The state is asking for us to do a stronger presence. We're planning that with the police force, and you should see that in the month of March.
Fernandez's comments come after several weeks of bloodshed, which saw nearly a dozen young men lose their lives. Last weekend, 4 men were shot and killed in separate incidents. The killings have not gone unnoticed by the Christian Council, as Fernandez says the church is doing all it can to assist in combating violent crime in the country.
What we have done in every crime watch, in collaboration with the IDB sponsored program, there's a church connected to it. And so silently, we've partnered with some of the innovative programs that we thought would be better use. That we have in every crime watch, there's a minister or a church that has been tied to it. And we've opened our doors to meetings and to collaboration with our social outreach programs for our youths and our young adults that are now available.
Fernandez also revealed that the council is considering a gun buyback program.
We've noticed in some of the jurisdictions they do something called cash for guns. And so the churches and the Christian Council, we're discussing that idea. The greatest challenge we have in both ideas, as expressed by law enforcement and national security, is the safety and security of those receiving those weapons and the anonymity of those turning in those weapons. And so until we could work out that portion, it is the only hindrance. Some stakeholders have reached out to myself and said that they're interested in partnering with the church to do gun buybacks. Obviously, we're not talking about paying full values for any gun, but if it is, that some of it is financially based. And this program has proven to work through the federal government in the United States, for example. They've done this and they've taken a lot of guns off the street.
Police took 285 guns off the streets in 2018. So far for the year, police seized 37. Of the 91 murders committed in 2018, 81 were the result of gun violence. Reporting for our News, I'm Jasmine Brown.
All right, thanks a lot, Jasmine. Well, the government has temporarily stopped all deportations to Haiti due to the political unrest and violence in Port-au-Prince. A statement from the Office of the Prime Minister says the decision follows the temporary closure of the Bahamas Embassy in Port-au-Prince and the recall of all diplomatic and consular staff. Now, Bahamian security forces are on high alert in anticipation of a potential increase of illegal migration from Haiti. The statement adds that as a protective measure, the government is preparing a temporary detention center in Matthewtown in Nagua, which will be staffed with personnel from relevant ministries and government agencies. In the meantime, officials will continue to closely monitor the situation in Haiti. Well, following the commissioning of the new Bahamas Air Boeing 737 jet on Thursday, Tourism and Aviation Minister Dionisio de Aguilar spoke with the media about several concerns he has about the airline and changes he hopes to see in the near future. Our Giorgio Bain has the details.
Minister of Tourism and Aviation Dionisio de Aguilar responded to calls by Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis to see the $13 million subvention to Bahamas Air decrease by $2 million every year under his administration. According to de Aguilar, this will be difficult to achieve, but he is hoping that with the new additions to the fleet, Bahamas Air may be able to add more direct flights, enhance the customer experience, and boost revenue.
It will be difficult to achieve that goal, but we will endeavor to do so. What this new aircraft will allow us to do is to improve efficiency, on-time performance, and therefore grow our customer base. In addition, what it'll allow us to do is to service those markets that do not have non-stop direct service. This is what Bahamas Air's advantage can be. While the large airlines like American, Delta, United service the Bahamas quite wonderfully, they generally guide you through or direct you through a hub. And so what Bahamas Air can do is to establish new non-stop direct markets to the Bahamas.
The tourism minister says the national flag carrier is also considering adding kiosks to assist with the check-in process for hundreds of customers who fly with Bahamas Air.
I don't know an exact date, but that's definitely a goal. I mean, nothing is more frustrating to me as minister to go into that airport and see that line down the door, around the corner and up the street, because we're still using a very archaic system of check-in. The time has come. Other airlines are doing it, using kiosks to improve that overall experience by the customer. So that's the way the world is going, and we need to move with it. That's what our customers are expecting and want.
The airline is also looking at ways to reduce delayed and canceled flights seen during peak travel seasons such as Easter, summer, and Christmas.
But the problem arises that when you have a plane that breaks down, especially a jet that has 120 seats, that creates a lot of problems for a small aircraft. American Airlines has over 800 planes. When one goes down, they can put another one in. When Bahamas Air loses a plane, we have to wait for that either to get fixed or we have to scramble around and get a charter plane, and that leads to a degrading of the customer experience. So hopefully with this added capacity, we'll be able to mitigate the time when an aircraft goes down and we need to go to plan B. So the greater the growth in the number of planes will mitigate that horrible customer experience which you all saw around the Christmas time.
Reporting for our News Weekend Edition, I'm Giorgio Bain.
Well, now that an agreement has been reached between gaming house operators and the government for a new tax structure, what is the way forward? Gaming Operators Association CEO Gershon Major told our News it's very simple. They continue with their campaign of responsible gaming.
We are continuing our message on the responsible gaming campaign and our partnership with Sandilands Rehabilitation Center in dealing with addiction, particularly gambling disorder. We have a symposium coming up in Grand Bahama at Christ Church Cathedral on the 22nd of February, which will be the second in a series of conversations we're having across the Bahamas regarding responsible gaming initiatives and our standardized policy.
It's been a long-fought battle between gaming house operators and the government ever since government proposed a new sliding scale tax for gaming houses. And after taking things to court, an agreement was made in closed-door meetings. The government will now collect about $35 million annually from a new sliding scale tax on net table revenue and $15 million from a tax on winnings as a result of lottery bets. As of April 1st, those with winnings up to $1,000 will be taxed 5% of that money, and those with winnings over $1,000 will have a 7.5% in taxes deducted. There will be no tax on the winnings of casino games like spinning. Major said gaming operators are now more focused on promoting responsible gaming for their patrons.
And then we will continue to carry the message regarding the industry in terms of what the facts are as it relates to the economic impact of this industry, those professionals who are behind the industry, which is over 3,000 Bahamian professionals from a very diverse discipline, and we're very proud of those individuals. They're some of the best and the brightest.
Still ahead tonight, the tourism minister gives an update on the sale of the Grand Lucayan Resort. That story and more when our news, the weekend edition, returns.